Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The Daily. It's Thursday, March 24th, here with Greg Lawless. I'm Nick Furshaw, and Greg, we're going to start today where we started yesterday. That's Kansas City news of Chad Ochocinco, the NFL wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals, working out with Sporting Kansas City, worked out for over an hour with the team yesterday. What did we see?
Well, he got out there and he did a lot of running, and we were reading some of the Twitter comments that were coming through during the live stream of it all, and it was boy, he looks like he belongs out there. Boy, he looks fast. There was a lot of that kind of stuff, but the reality was, I think he struggled out there. He obviously doesn't have much touch on the ball, and he pretty much admitted it, which I appreciate too, that afterward he came out and said, you know what? I didn't play very well. It was only day one. You never know what might happen again going forward.
Yeah, you mentioned day one of this trial, and one thing I found interesting, Chad Ochocinco talked to both David Beckham and Thierry Henry before this tryout and said that he ate a big slice of humble pie before he even got off the plane in Kansas City. So we'll see how that goes. You can follow the story on the site. One other big piece of news involves Robbie Rogers of the Columbus Crew. We'd heard rumors that he had asked for a trade. We sought out some information from the Crew, and they're denying that there's a trade on the table.
Yeah, well, our man in Columbus, Craig Mers, went and asked Brian Bliss and Robert Warziha what's going on with this. Both men from the Crew said there's been no trade offers. He has not asked for a trade. And Brian Bliss coming out and saying very succinctly, it would take a heck of a lot for us to get rid of Robbie Rogers. They said they're not actively looking to trade him. However, they would listen to offers. But again, it would take a lot, I think, to pry Rogers away from the Crew.
Yeah, Robbie Rogers, one of those players that the Crew expecting to be a leader this season in 2011. There was one trade on Wednesday that we can announce. Kalen Carr from the Chicago Fire headed to the Houston Dynamo in exchange for Dominic Oduro. This is a speed for speed kind of trade.
Yeah, I think that obviously Kalen Carr hasn't been playing much for the Fire, particularly under Coach De Los Cobos, and I think that is the kind of a player that Dominic Kinnear really likes. He can throw him in there, he's going to bang around up top, and Dominic Oduro seems to be having trouble scoring. Maybe a new setting will help that out.
And the Chicago Fire are certainly not done making move. They announced today that Gabriel Ferrari joining camp and now on the roster.
Yeah, the young American striker who was in Italy, he was with Sampdoria and also spent some time with Perugia, never really latched on, never showed what he could do over there. Maybe in Chicago he can.
One bit of midweek action. It's FC Dallas and the Mexican side Tigres in the Rio Grande Plate matchup, and a good one between those two sides.
Yeah, it ended up that Tigres took a 2-1 victory, although it was 1-1, and they came and got the goal at the end. Andrew Weidman scoring for FC Dallas. This is one of those great cross-border rivalries that I think MLS and the leagues in Mexico need to continue to do.
Two last things before we get out of here. We wanted to mention that the MLS Goal of the Week presented by AT&T, the voting for that still open until midnight going into Friday morning, as well as the MLS Save of the Week. And Match Day Live. If you missed some games last weekend and you want to watch them this weekend, it's still 33% off the normal price, up to 221 games. Nobody watches that many games other than you and me.
Yeah, no, and this is the early bird special, which will actually be done on Monday. So make sure you get that. You can watch all these games, especially all the games this weekend.
Again, you can find that on the site, and all the latest headlines, Chad Ochocinco, and all the latest trades on MLSsoccer.com.